Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a really important topic, the 10 harsh realities of female dynamics explained. I'm excited to explore these insights with you. On this first slide, I want to give you a quick overview of what's ahead. We'll discuss the psychological and biological factors that shape modern relationships, things that often go unspoken, but are crucial to understanding love, attraction, and long-term partnerships. So, let's get started and uncover these truths together. When you meet a woman for the first time, the impression you make really sets the tone for how she perceives you. It's crucial to understand that what you lead with initially can shape the entire dynamic. If you tend to lead with displays of wealth, luxury, and status, you're signaling that your value is rooted in material things. And that often becomes the foundation of the relationship from the start. But here, the key. Leading with presence, authority, and authenticity sends a very different message. It shows that you are a man of substance, someone confident in who he is beyond surface appearances. Women are naturally attuned to what you emphasize in your demeanor and conversation. So if genuine attraction is your goal, it's best to showcase your true self, your values, your confidence, your authenticity, rather than just surface-level symbols of success. Because ultimately, real connection comes from being genuine, not just from what's flashy on the outside. All right, let's break this down. When we talk about weakness in nature, it's quickly replaced by strength. It's a fundamental survival instinct. The same idea applies in relationships. If you lack boundaries, confidence, and clear leadership, she might unconsciously step into that dominant role herself. And that's not necessarily out of malice, it's just instinctual. Weak men tend to signal instability, and women naturally gravitate towards strength for safety and stability. Now, I want to emphasize that true masculinity isn't about being aggressive or dominating for its own sake. It's about standing firm, being decisive, and protecting your frame, your core identity. When you do that, you create a space where the relationship can thrive on mutual respect and balance, rather than chaos or uncertainty. So, understanding this dynamic helps us see why developing genuine strength and confidence is so essential. You know, society often praises men who are sweet and endlessly accommodating. We tend to think that being kind and agreeable is the way to win hearts. But here's the thing, these traits alone usually don't spark real attraction. Women might settle for a nice guy later in life when they're looking for stability, but that doesn't necessarily mean they feel deep passion. The reason is that excessive approval-seeking can come across as inauthentic and needy. True attraction, on the other hand, requires strength, confidence, and boundaries. Authentic kindness is powerful when it's balanced with self-assurance. When a man is confident and clear about his boundaries, that's what really draws people in. So while being nice is good, it's not enough on its own. It's about blending kindness with confidence, showing strength, not submission, and that's what creates genuine connection. This idea ties into our overall theme. Mastering attraction isn't about simply being nice. It's about being real, confident, and authentic. So on this slide, we're discussing a common misconception, that most women lack empathy for men. But the reality is more nuanced. Culturally, men are often conditioned to hide their emotions, with the famous command to man up. This societal expectation encourages men to suppress what they feel, which over time leads to desensitization, not just in men, but in women as well. Many women, without even realizing it, start to see men as emotionally impenetrable, forgetting that underneath it all, men are human and have vulnerabilities just like everyone else. When men do open up and show fragility, women might feel uncomfortable or even repelled, rather than feeling compassion. Now, I want to clarify, this doesn't mean men should suppress their emotions entirely. Instead, it's about expressing those emotions with strength and dignity, rather than desperation or weakness. Recognizing this dynamic is key to fostering better understanding and empathy in relationships, which ties back to our overall theme of building authentic connections. Let's talk about why many women are actually attracted to emotionally unavailable men. The first point is that scarcity creates value. Just like rare gems are more prized because they're hard to find, emotionally unavailable men seem mysterious and difficult to obtain. This makes them more desirable because their rarity sparks curiosity and fascination. Next, there's the thrill of the chase. Women often can't quite explain why they feel drawn to these men. It's partly about the excitement, the challenge of winning their attention. Subconsciously, many women believe that if they can succeed in capturing his interest, it proves their worth. Finally, challenge elevates reward. When something feels difficult to get, it feels more valuable. This is why aloofness and restraint can actually create a stronger attraction than constant availability. The difficulty itself amplifies the desire, making the pursuit more rewarding. All of these points connect to the bigger idea that sometimes what's most elusive is what we value the most, especially in attraction and romantic dynamics. So let's talk about how women tend to test men constantly. Now, I want to clarify that testing isn't manipulation. It's actually an instinctive behavior. Women do this to gauge important qualities like your strength, your confidence, and your boundaries. It's natural, and it's a way for her to see if she can trust you. When you face these tests, what really matters is how you respond. If you cave under pressure, it signals weakness, and that can undermine her respect for you. But if you hold your ground, if you stay calm and confident, that signals leadership and reliability. These tests are crucial because they reveal whether you're stable enough to be trusted with her emotions, her body, and her future. Failing these tests, or giving in too easily, can erode respect over time. On the other hand, passing them, by remaining steady, can deepen her attraction and build a stronger connection. So remember, these tests aren't about playing games. They're about understanding whether you're the man she can rely on. It's a key part of building genuine trust and attraction in any relationship. Now, let's talk about what I call the core desire: security. Despite how independent and empowered women may seem today, at a fundamental level, there's a deep-rooted need for security. And that doesn't just mean financial stability. It also includes emotional stability, physical protection, and consistency in life. These are the foundations that provide a sense of safety and peace of mind. Another important point is loyalty. Sometimes, a woman might remain loyal to a man she doesn't even love if she feels that he offers her a strong sense of safety. That loyalty is often driven by the desire for security rather than love alone. And finally, when women evaluate long-term value, security tends to outweigh almost every other quality. It's a critical factor that influences decisions about commitment and partnership far more than many might realize. So, understanding this core desire helps us see why security is such a powerful motivator in relationships and why it shapes so many choices women make. It's a fundamental piece of the overall puzzle we're exploring today. So, let's talk about how a woman's physical desirability often shapes her identity. From a young age, girls tend to be praised more for their looks than for their intelligence or strength. This kind of messaging makes physical attractiveness a core part of who they believe they are. As women grow older, many of them tend to lead with their appearance, creating what I would call a sexualized alter ego, something they present to the world that often becomes their main source of power. Society plays a big role here, reinforcing this idea through attention, compliments, and countless industries that are built around appearance. For many women, being desirable isn't just a nice-to-have. It's almost a necessity for survival in this cultural landscape. This all ties into our broader theme: how societal expectations and gender norms shape women's identities and influence their sense of worth. So, on this final slide, let's talk about how attention functions as a woman's currency. Throughout history and even today, women often seek attention through various means like revealing photos, subtle selfies, or social media updates. This isn't just about vanity, it's deeply rooted in human psychology. Attention acts as a validation of their attractiveness, helps secure their social status, and ultimately boosts their self-esteem. It's important to understand that for women, attention holds a similar significance to respect for men. This doesn't mean women are superficial, but rather that attention plays a vital role in how they feel valued and recognized. This dynamic explains why industries like beauty, fashion, and cosmetics are so successful. They're feeding this universal desire for visibility and acknowledgement. Understanding this helps us see the broader picture of human motivation and social behavior, which ties into the overall theme of how different genders seek validation in unique ways.